Bloom's taxonomy of education, educational objectives. Bloom taxonomy is classification of learning objectives within education. It is named after Benjamin Bloom. He edited the standard text, Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, the classification of educational goals. So this is the picture of Benjamin S. Bloom, who is the creator of this taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy. He associate were Krathwell, Masia, and Simpson. Bloom produced the Taxonomy of Cognitive Educational Objectives in 1956. The Taxonomy of Affective Educational Objectives, Krathwell, Bloom, and Masia in 1964. The Taxonomy of Psychomotor Educational Objectives, Simpson in 1969. Bloom taxonomy divides educational objectives into three domains: cognitive, described as knowing, head; affective, described as feeling, heart; and psychomotor, describes as doing, hand. Instructional and educational objectives. The instructional objectives are identified after analyzing the content to be taught because teaching is a meaningful and purposeful activity. The educational objectives imply the changes that we try to produce in the child. Comparison of educational and instructional objective. Educational objectives, they are very broad. Instructional objectives, they are very specific. Educational objectives, social philosophy is the main source of objective. Instructional objectives, psychology is the source of the objectives. In educational objectives, they imply the teaching objectives. Instructional objectives, the educational objectives are achieved with the help of these objectives. Educational objectives, they can be achieved with a long period of duration, while instructional objectives, they can be achieved within the period of classroom teaching. Educational objectives, all subjects of school are concerned with these objectives. The school objectives have their specific instructional objectives in instructional objectives. In educational objectives, the examples are personality development, feeling of national integration. While the instructional objectives, the examples are knowledge, skill, and interest. Earlier, it was believed that education was a bipolar process, teacher and student. But later, Bloom put forward the teacher. But sorry, but the Bloom put forward the tripolar theory: teacher, content, student. Cognitive domains. A hierarchy of 6 levels is given. Knowing, number 1, number 2, comprehension, number 3, application, number 4, analysis, number 5, synthesis, number 6, evaluation. Cognitive domain, a hierarchy of 6 levels. These are the 6 levels. Knowledge. Knowledge means the recall of specific terms. Action verb: know, define, memorize, repeat, list. Comprehension. Here the students are able to recall but can do a little more. Paraphrase, discuss to some extent. Action verbs: discuss, describe, explain, recognize, identify. Application. For application, we can take information and use it in concrete situation. Action verbs: translate, interpret, apply, employ, use. Analysis. This break this breakdown a communication into constituents parts, revealing the relationship among them. Action verbs: distinguish, analyze, differentiate, compare, contrast. Synthesis. This process pulls together many disorganized elements or parts so as to form a whole. Action verbs: compose, propose, develop, formulate, arrange. And the last is evaluation. Judgments are made about the value of materials or methods through evaluation. Action verb: judge, evaluate, value, rate, revise. Affective domain: a hierarchy of 5 levels. Number 1, receiving. Number 2, responding. Number 3, valuing. Number 4, organization. Number 5, characterization by value set. So these are the 5 levels of affective domain, a hierarchy of 5 levels. Receiving: the person is willing to notice a particular phenomenon. Action verbs: observe, be conscious, realize, attend, listen. Responding: the responses are made first with compliance, later willingly and with satisfaction. Action verbs: comply, obey, look, respond, prefer. Valuing: acceptance of the worth of a thing is known as valuing. Action verbs: feel, participate, enable, initiate, examine. Organization: this involves organization of values. It determines interrelationship and adapts behavior to value system. Action verbs: form, judgment, relate, weigh, crystallize, regulate. Characterization: it generalizes certain values into controlling tendencies, emphasis on internal consistency, later integrate these into a total philosophy of life or worldview. Action verbs: ready, change, view, approach, arrive. Psychomotor domain: the psychomotor domain concerns things student might physically do. The levels of this domain are characterized as reflex actions, fundamental movements, applicable mostly to young children: crawl, run, jump, reach, change, direction. Perceptual abilities: catch, write, balance. Physical abilities: stop, move quickly, change, react. Skilled movement: play, hit, dance, swim, dive. Activity: read the following passage and answer the question that follows. Thank you for listening this video.